The once peaceful border town of Summit Creek had become a battleground. What was once a quiet community now belonged to a ruthless cartel, where people vanished without a trace. Corrupt cops looked the other way, and fear ruled the streets. Emily Carter, a determined 16-year-old with more bravery than caution, had been tracking the cartel's movements for weeks. She had heard rumors of a human trafficking operation, but never expected to witness it herself. Perched atop an abandoned shipping container in the industrial district, she gripped her phone, recording footage of armed men unloading captives from a battered truck. Her heart pounded as she zoomed in, trying to capture clear evidence. That's when she saw him. Raul Montoya, the man whispered about in hushed tones, the one responsible for countless disappearances. As she adjusted her angle, a small rock slipped beneath her boot, tumbling noisily down the metal structure. The cartel enforcers snapped their heads upward. Someone's up there. Get them. Emily didn't hesitate. She stuffed her phone into her jacket and bolted across the container tops as bullets pinged off the metal. Her only chance was the motorcycle she had hidden outside the perimeter. She leaped down, landing in a painful roll before sprinting toward the fence. Just as she squeezed through, headlights flared to life. Two SUVs roared onto the road behind her. Her bike's engine sputtered before catching. Gravel kicked up behind her as she peeled onto the highway, the cartel in pursuit. Heart hammering, she knew she couldn't outrun them forever. There was only one hope: her father. Ethan Carter had once been a force to be reckoned with. A Marine turned biker, he led a crew of veterans who had seen too much war to ever truly leave it behind. Now, they ran a small repair shop on the outskirts of town, trying to live quietly. But when Ethan's radio crackled with his daughter's frantic voice, everything changed. Dad, they're chasing me. Highway 16. I need help. Ethan's grip tightened on the wrench he was holding. He turned to his crew, Miguel, Naomi, and Diego, each of them seasoned fighters in their own right. We ride. Now. Within minutes, the roar of motorcycles filled the night. They intercepted Emily just as the cartel's SUVs closed in. Miguel lobbed a Molotov cocktail, sending one vehicle skidding into a ditch. Naomi fired precise shots, taking out the tires of the second SUV. The cartel wasn't expecting resistance, let alone from war-hardened bikers. Within moments, they were forced to retreat. Emily pulled up beside her father, breathless. I have proof. Video evidence. We can stop them. Ethan looked at her, then at the burning wreckage of their enemy. Then we take the fight to them. The next day, the crew gathered at their hideout, a long-abandoned bar that once served as the biker gang's headquarters. They reviewed Emily's footage. The proof was damning. Cartel enforcers, trafficked captives, and the unmistakable face of Raul Montoya. This is bigger than we thought, Naomi murmured, arms crossed. If Montoya's running human trafficking, he's not doing it alone. There's a whole network. Then we cut the head off the snake, Diego said, checking his revolver. We hit them where it hurts. Their first target was a gas station near the highway, rumored to be a cartel checkpoint. They scouted the area, confirming corrupt cops were taking bribes while cartel trucks came and went. That night, they struck. Naomi posed as a customer, gathering intel while Miguel planted a small explosive under one of the vehicles. When the moment was right, Ethan led the ambush. Within minutes, the cartel's operation was in flames. But Montoya wasn't one to be outplayed. The retaliation came swift and brutal. Summit Creek woke to chaos. The cartel stormed in with a vengeance. Storefronts shattered, cars burned, and those who had dared to resist were made examples of. Ethan and his crew fought back, taking cover on the rooftops and laying down suppressive fire. Emily and Naomi worked from a sniper's perch, picking off enforcers as they tried to overtake the town. Then Montoya arrived. His armored SUV rolled onto Main Street. The town held its breath. Carter, he shouted, you think you can take from me and live? I'll burn everything you love to the ground. Ethan fired at the windshield. It cracked, but held. We'll see about that, Ethan growled. The cartel pulled back, but not before leaving a message. On the burned-out husk of Ethan's repair shop, they scrawled a single word: war. Emily had tracked Montoya's movements. His main base was an abandoned factory near the border, heavily fortified but not impenetrable. With the FBI refusing to intervene due to corrupted officials, the crew knew they were on their own. They went in under cover of darkness. Naomi and Emily provided overwatch while Ethan, Miguel, and Diego infiltrated the compound. Explosives were set at key locations. They moved swiftly, taking out guards with silenced weapons. Then they found them, the captives. Dozens of men, women, and children huddled in cages, waiting to be smuggled across the border. Ethan's jaw clenched. No more. They freed the captives, arming those who could fight. As alarms blared, the compound erupted into chaos. Montoya's men scrambled, but they were outmatched. Finally, Montoya himself emerged, flanked by bodyguards. "You should have stayed dead, Carter." "So should you," Ethan shot back. The final fight was brutal. Montoya was skilled, but Ethan had years of experience and a burning need for revenge. In the end, Montoya fell, his empire crumbling around him. As the factory burned, Ethan looked at Emily. "You did good, kid." She exhaled, exhausted but victorious. "We did." With Montoya dead and the cartel in shambles, Summit Creek began to heal. The FBI, now forced to act, swept in to clean up what remained. Ethan and his crew knew the fight wasn't over, not really. There would always be another battle, another war. But for now, they had one. Emily stood beside her father, watching the sun rise over the desert. "So what now?" Ethan smirked, throwing an arm around her shoulders. "Now, we ride." And with that, the roar of engines filled the dawn air as they disappeared into the horizon, legends forged in the fire of rebellion.